He went from a bicycle to a cab to a bus.
I'll call to order the meeting at 7 p.m. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Zoom, I think we can, but we can't screen show anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're on Zoom, right, ladies? We on Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you didn't get the other?
no.
Can you?
I have it.
Yeah, if you have a copy, that would be great. We can just add it.
Okay, I'll make it.
Thank you. All right, we'll do a roll call. Supervisor Bogey?
Here.
Clerk Stephanie here. Treasurer Joel?
Here.
Trustee Toll? Here. Trustee Strong?
Here.
Approval of agenda, we need to add.
Yep, so we need to add a few things. So under old business, number 4, sexton position. And then number 5, under new business, additional assessment, assistant. And then, oh wait, I'm sorry, no, number 4 in old business is sexton, number 6 is. No, hold on, I'm confusing myself.
What's new business?
What was the old business that we were
Sexton.
looking at?
Sexton.
Sexton, what was, okay, then number 5 for assessor.
Is that new business?
Yes, new business number 5. Wasn't there another new business one that we had to put on here? Or am I losing my mind? Okay, maybe I'm losing.
What's the?
So number 4, old business is the sexton
Yep.
position, and then number 5, new business is the resolution for additional assessment assistant.
We good?
Yeah, I think we're.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as changes, with changes.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'll put Nick as the second on that.
Public comment for 2 minutes on agenda items only. Anybody on Zoom that wants to talk? Nothing, okay. Moving right along. Approval of the previous minutes. I read through everything, looks good from what I can see.
And what we're just receiving right now, we'll go with the lawn care bids.
Make a motion to accept the old minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Disbursements.
All right, we'll start with payroll. So this last month, very normal, $9,053.39 for payroll. Nothing outstanding here. So that's normal. And then vendors was 16,984.12. We did have the August fire department incident report or incident runs come out. That was 1,557. Everything else is pretty normal for the month. And then we did have a road commission bill come through for 2,430, and that was for the signs, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because you said it came under budget. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up. So whatever it was, I know what it
Yeah,
was.
well,
but-
throw it on my desk when you get to.
Yeah.
I'll look through it.
You do have a copy of it, but I will make sure you get another copy, but I know you said that it came under budget, which
Could
was
have been.
a couple $100s. So for a total of 26,037.51 for the month.
All right. Make a motion to, so what are we gonna do, roll call?
Make a motion, then we'll do roll call.
Yeah, make a motion to accept the vendors and payroll.
I'll second that.
Do a roll call, Supervisor Bogey.
Yes.
Clerk Closer, yes. Treasurer Batts.
Yes.
Trustee Tolk. Yes. And Trustee Schrock.
Yes,
All right, fund balances.
All right, your general fund has 170,589. Tax account has 18,029. Fire fund has a 194,474. Road fund is 53,450. Old National Farm Savings is 63,909. All our CDs are 422,621. We still have a little COVID relief of 33,449, which is included in the general fund. Fund balance totaling 1,338,877. Without the tax account, that's not ours, we have $1,320,847.46.
I make a motion to accept the fund balances.
I'll second that. All in favor?
aye,
Opposed? Building report.
There's one building permit, 3 electrical, 2 mechanical permits, 0 plumbing, and 4 building inspections, and 14 hours for office hours.
I make a motion to accept the building report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Is Karen on Zoom? No, okay,
Said locked her off.
okay, that's okay.
So do you want me to read it?
You can or I can, doesn't matter.
I can read it as soon as, I clean up my nuts here. Okay, so field work. Working on inspections for building permits. Other work, she received and will be reviewing the agricultural, commercial, and industrial appraisal studies from the county equalization to determine starting ratios for each class. December Board of Review was held Tuesday, December 10th, just a couple days ago. There were no petitions or corrections. Scheduled training for the Board of Review members, reviewed procedural changes and scheduled the 2025, I don't want to say that year for whatever reason, March Board of Review. And those will be posted on the website soon. That way everybody knows ahead of time, okay? Updated poverty exemption resolution and application based on the 2025 federal poverty guidelines. And looking ahead, conduct personal property canvass and prepare personal property statements for mailing on or before January 10th, 2025. Process 2024 approved land divisions for the 2025 assessment roll. So she's got a lot going on. Respectfully submitted by Karen Reed, the assessor.
Perfect.
Thank you. I make a motion to accept the assessor's report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Order report.
Mr. Doobie's been working with the Ridge Road and Wabash Road, still dealing with those two. Trying to get the process server to get the summons served. It looks like it's not gonna get served in time, might have to get another one. On Ridge Road, Wabash, they are making progress, moving vehicles slow, but it is moving ahead. And Ann Arbor Road, he has some more issues with scrap vehicles to get moved. And he's working with them. And that's it.
I make a motion to accept the ordinance report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have got the fire department report. Remember, right? We had 15 calls last month, and which 3 of those were actually assist. One was a building fire on South Zeb Road in Ann Arbor. Another was an EMS call on Tuttle Hill Road. And then a building fire on Braun Road in Saline. We split that 4 ways when it's an assist.
Is it equal 4 ways or?
Supposed to be equal,
It is.
supposedly,
Okay,
but we're gonna work on that. When we shall be on board. See what's going on with that, 'cause I don't like the way things are getting built over there.
because it seems like when anything else is like bought or expenses are taken out, there's like percentages for the city. Like the city obviously is the highest, and then it's York based on population, then it's us, then it's London.
Yep.
So I didn't know if these were the same, if they were broken down based on those percentages too.
I honestly can't answer that, but I would like to look into that, because, yeah, their billing there is getting a little.
Cause why would we have to be split 4 ways equally for this when we're not split equally 4 ways?
To me, it shouldn't even be billed to us, it should be billed to the fire department they're helping. So I look at it.
Yeah, I don't think it
And
needs to
they
be
get,
billed to us at
they get the
all.
money that way, so they're coming through us, our residents paying for someone to go to Ann Arbor.
Correct.
That doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
So that's something I want to look at, but we got 15 calls, which is down from last month by 1. It's up a little. We run anywhere from 11, 8, 20 calls. I mean, the highest we've had is 23 calls, so 15 is trending the right way on average. That's it.
We'll have a big one next month with the farm that just
Mhm.
did, because we probably went to that one too, the Hope Farm.
Oh, yeah, there was 11 fire departments on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That was tragic.
So that's the fire department report.
I make a motion to accept the fire department report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let me sheriff's department report. We had 37 incidents last month in the township, which is trending down from 40 the month before. But we do run usually between 23, 30, 37, 21. We're kind of all over the board. Basically, it was property checks for the big one, and some traffic situations. Be on the lookout. There were a couple of those. Pretty much that's it. Kind of quiet. Marty was down on one. Pretty quiet month, and we're trending down on it, so that's not a bad thing.
Has the sheriff been out here with the truck ordinance lately?
Yes.
Has he?
A little.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see them, at
Do
least
you?
on Wabash,
Oh, good, okay,
probably once a week.
okay,
So starting January,
yeah,
I'm gonna give my residents the phone number in Monroe County Dispatch. And anytime you see a semi truck going down your road, you call Monroe County Dispatch. I want everybody to call.
with the caveat to make sure that it's not a
Yeah,
local delivery.
if it's a big heavy
or-
semi, 53-foot box
Yeah.
truck, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're gonna start flooding Monroe County Dispatch, because the sheriff pretty much blew me off the other day, so. He said, call dispatch. It's okay. We can
well,
do
because
that.
I actually, on Facebook, I'm part of the Dundee Watchdogs, and there was an anonymous person on there complaining about I think it was Dundee that sits there, right at one of the side streets, and it's a no truck route, and they're that's all they do is just pull over the trucks. And everybody's like, that's the whole reason they should be, because it's a no truck route, read the signs and you won't have any issue. So it's like, man, I wish we could get somebody that just sit out here and you'll catch them all day long.
Yeah, I see more of the state police than I do sheriff.
Yeah, yeah.
But starting January 1st, we're gonna start really pushing, calling Monroe County Dispatch and, cause I'm done with it. I've had enough. They knocked the culvert loose on Sherman and Platte twice now this year alone,
Not recent, but this year, not
Just this
anything
year,
recent.
yeah.
Okay.
and I'm done with it. I mean, here's a sign that's actually 3 foot higher than a normal sign, so it goes over the railroad tracks. So you can't say, I didn't see it because of railroad track.
Well, and Heath's just cut down their tree right here.
And that was really obvious
It's
now.
really obvious.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, the freeways open back up, so.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
we should be good with that. That's all I got.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the sheriff's report.
I'll second it.
I'll take
Oh,
Shelby
she
for
did,
that
Shelby.
one. Yeah, I'll take Shelby.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business.
All right, so we'll start with the one-time lump sum that I brought up last month for the deputy clerk in terms of the election-related duties. So I wrote up a resolution. The amount here, I put here just based on what we talked about, that is negotiable if we want to push this forward. I made it very clear in here that even though the election-related duties are the clerk's responsibility, and I delegate any election-related duties to the deputy clerk as needed, this election cycle required additional duties due to the new laws with the 9 days of early voting and additional responsibilities outlined by the state of Michigan, which Jenna and I were not aware of how timely this was going to be in terms of how often we were gonna have to be down here, often how she was gonna have to be down here. We were here almost 24 hours on election day, November. And this is in lieu of me requesting a permanent wage increase, a salary increase, by recommendation of the MTA and other municipalities that have said with these new laws that all the clerks in Michigan should ask for a wage increase. I wanna do this in lieu of that. And then this would be a one-time, not for any other future, because now we understand what the time commitments are going to be moving forward. So I just wanted to make that very clear. And I included a list of just generalized of what Jenna had to do for each individual election. And her and I worked on both of it, but I mean, she took a brunt of it just because she's got a little bit more availability to learn the election. She's already had one election under her belt before I came on. So now we are better prepared for the next election moving forward. So that's why I wanted this to be one time only in lieu of a wage increase request for me.
I look at that. I don't think I got one.
You should.
Yeah, no, weird. Let's see what it is.
So last meeting, when you brought it up, I
Mhm.
requested this information,
Yep.
so. I think the big thing is the time for that election. And it spell out a little bit more for these people, what kind of time she was here during the election.
Yeah, so during the election, I mean, she was here the Monday before, she was here the Saturday before, 8 hours. The Monday before, she had to be here to download EPB for however long it took to stay in line at the state of Michigan. You're kind of on their time clock, and that's for each individual election. The times in which she had to, you know, come from her York job to stop here to, because she's not in charge of elections over there. So, you know, she'd have to come here for a couple hours here and there, but it's a disruption at that point. And then election day, specifically general election, she was here 24 hours almost. And then having to go down to Monroe, you know, even though I was with her on you know, going down Monroe and everything like that, it was just a time commitment that her and I were just not aware of. And times that by 3 for February, August, and November.
This is a resolution from before I was on the board. I'm gonna abstain from voting on it.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't involved in getting it through or anything, so.
Sure. I can appreciate that.
Joe, anything to put your 2 cents in?
I know she was here a bunch and now that it's 9 days. And yeah, I'm all for this.
And even though the 9 days isn't physically here, it's
Right.
the scheduling of the workers that we still have to do. It's the, helping get the supplies. It's just making sure, we have to make sure our municipality is ready for Brenda down at Raisinville. Even though we're physically not doing it here, it's still a mental load that we need to, that she took a good run on. And again, the 1,500, there was $500 in election was brought up last time. I just put that on there. If we do want to move this forward, we can negotiate that number. That's,
Well, I think the election itself, I was up here, the last election, because I worked it, not this past one, but the primary, and Jen had a lot to do with keeping it running smoothly. So, I'm
and
for that.
And the reason the elections ran so smoothly this last year is because of all the prep work that she did ahead of time.
Yeah, she was, right on spot on everything.
And like it says in the resolution, now that we understand the time commitment, that's not something we're gonna get surprised with next time unless the state of Michigan wants to, extend early voting or something like that drastic. And I pray to the Lord above that they do not. But this is just one time, not to be continued for future elections. Cycles.
Without divulging people having babies. You also gotta look at what happened. She
Yeah.
could have easily said, I got stuff to do,
Correct.
because she just had a
She came back a
and
week
she-
after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she kept going, so.
She did. We had our mascot here for a good couple months that we enjoyed, so. Yes, ma'am.
Can I say something? Being, working in the office with her,
Sure.
she was a machine. Like, when she would get focused into something with the elections, it was just like, it was not a Lucy and Ethel moment. It was very clean cut and dry. And baby cries, she turns around, gets baby, back to what she was doing. She did amazing with the election. So,
Thank you for that.
I feel that.
Any other comments? Suggestions?
And I got one more comment.
Yes.
It's common, you can look it up. She gets paid $20 an hour.
Mhm.
My wife and I were in Traverse City over the summer, and the McDonald's was advertising for $21 an hour.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's, that alone, to me, not that, we gotta give her a raise or anything,
Right.
but, I think she went above and beyond what she did from what I've seen, so.
And just taking all the new rules and regulations.
And we wanna keep her.
Yeah, I mean, that's. the main-
Maybe.
If you don't want to, just
No,
Right.
don't even try
Right.
it. Don't even try it. So I make a motion to accept the lump sum resolution for the total of $1,500 for that one-time lump sum.
I'll second that.
I'll do a roll call on it, don't we?
Yes. So Supervisor Boogie,
No.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Tolk is abstaining, and Trustee Nick,
Yes.
and it will pass. Thank you.
Don't go to McDonald's. I'm just trying to say.
Now we got the lawn service bids. We got a bunch of them.
So I do want to just point out, we have two from R&R Lawn Care. I highlighted them just so we understand where the estimates are coming from. So the 6,100 is for just the Spalding Cemetery and the hall, and then fall and spring cleanup. The other one is all of the cemeteries, the hall, and spring and fall cleanup. Just, I want to make sure that's outlined.
So what are we looking at?
So this will be,
What are we voting on, I guess?
Well, I think we might hold off because I like to research some of this because it's all over the boards.
Okay.
So we have-
Let's see what,
yeah.
so what's the 17 you just shot over to me?
So this one is from Blaine's Lawn Care. So this is a bid for all three cemeteries and the hall. Everybody is pretty much the same season, April 1st to November 31st. They include minor spring and fall cleanup, which consists of picking up sticks and mulching of leaves. Everything will be done on a weekly basis with extra emphasis on the holidays, Easter, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Father's Day, Independence. Consists of string trimming and blowing off any hard surfaces. Everybody does the fuel. If it goes above $4 a gallon, there's going to be a surcharge. And then billing is done at each end of each month, paid within 15 days. That's pretty much across the board for everybody.
So I'm looking at lanes of 17,994 for the cemeteries in here.
Yeah.
And they mow it once a week.
Yep.
And Michigan Custom Scapes is 29,240.
Yeah, they gave us a just an 860, and then we just
Per week.
calculated, yeah. And then
R&R is 33,900.
yep,
to
and
compare
then Legacy is 32,000. And then if you pay up front, there's a 5% discount, which would save $1,600, and then bring it down to 30,006. You had that one? Yep. Oh, it's right here. It's just in an email. from me.
Oh,
Yeah,
email, I
Yeah.
got you.
that's why I highlighted it.
32,000.
So everybody's scope of work is pretty much identical.
Wow, this guy's like 10 grand cheaper plus. Does anybody know Blaine's Lawn Service?
I do,
Good
yes, they're friends,
people?
very good people. They actually cut my mother-in-law's yard and multiple other friends of mine.
I can tell you who we're not.
Great job. My mother, I will tell you, my mother-in-law and her husband, or most likely her husband, are very picky about the lawn. So, they've been very pleased with what Blaine's has done.
That's almost half.
I like the backstory
Right,
of the company, so that's me.
Yeah, we won't be using the good guys lawn care, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, they strung you along for a quote for 6 months. Yeah.
And then the last email says, well, it doesn't appear that we're going to be sending lawn care estimates at this time. Just ask the team and we'll get you one in the spring. Yeah, I don't think so.
We don't
So
feel
that
like
one's
doing
out. The other ones, I want to research them a little bit more.
I mean, I looking based on this, I mean, the one for just the Spalding and the Township Hall.
Yeah, we can't.
That's not, I think, what we're looking for. We're definitely looking for all the cemeteries and
done.
all of that, right? So, I mean, at least they gave us another quote for everything.
So you want time to see if they're apples to apples before we vote?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
You got time.
Yeah. It ain't like they're gonna be mowing grass tomorrow.
Correct.
So we'll put that on now. Let's table that
Table it.
till next month. I'll research it out and then I'll have some answers and we'll go from there.
Is the Michigan Customs Scale, I see you just put 34 times the 860, but that's how many times, isn't it? cut.
Yeah,
Did they do that or did we?
No, I scribbled it on there because that's out. They're all, everyone's doing about 34 times, so.
can we get a exact
Yeah, I
from
can
them?
call.
Yeah, just so we have apples to apples, because I
I
would
just
hate,
wondered about cleanup, you know?
Yeah.
Some of them have an extra for cleanup.
and I would hate to say that this is what they're gonna do, and then they come in like 10 grand more, 10 grand less, and
Right.
we didn't give them the benefit of the doubt.
We'll make a motion to table it till next month.
A second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Next is the farm lease bids. We got 5 of them. I put them in a bid proposal form just so it's easy to read, but this is, I put literally verbatim what was given to me. And I do have the original submissions if anybody needs to see them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How many?
The only one that had like something additional with it, outside of just the amount per acre was Jeff Briggs. He indicated that 150 an acre, and we will mow the perimeter of the farm every year with a ditch bank mower. So I just wanted to make that
Okay.
differentiation.
They're all right in line with each other pretty much.
Where I think Sheets has it right now for 138
Yeah.
or something like that, so.
yeah.
He's in Milan and he's a Milan resident, so. I don't know. I guess, Joe, you've been on the board longer than all of us. You dealt with Sheets.
Well, I have no problem with them. You know, there's nothing we have to do, you know, we just take it the money. So it's kind of, you take the highest one.
Or we want to go someone we've been with for a long time. I mean, they're right in line with everybody else.
Who's doing it now? Who did it
Daryl
last
Sheets.
year? Sheets.
And he's doing it for 3 years now.
They're coming at 168 an acre.
You're with $100.
I mean, I don't know what a good price for this is, so I will take your guys' word for it.
Well, we got 4 bids and they're all fairly close, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, 4 out of the 5 are
yeah,
all identical.
the only thing is you say you wanna stay with a Milan person that's been doing it for $100 difference to this other gentleman that,
I do know that I talked to a few farmers, because we're just doing this for 3 years, but next time I think we should go 5 or 8. And the only reason is because one of them says, you know, I put all my chemical out there and get it all ready. I don't want to start all that and get it all good, and
And
then
somebody
I'm
else-
done.
yeah.
You know, so they got it all prime in 3 years, and then you don't
I
get the
got it,
next bid.
yeah.
So I think next time, we do it, hopefully we could do it for 5 years or even 8 years.
I mean, is that something that we might be able to, if we choose somebody tonight,
Did we
negotiate that
tell
with
them
them?
3?
We did,
3.
but is that something we might want to, ask if they'd be interested? If they want to go 5 or 8 years, I mean, instead of waiting another 3
Yeah.
years? I
This
mean,
is probably like the lawn care, they're not gonna plow anything tomorrow,
oh, correct,
Right.
yeah,
you know. We'd have to call them all back and say,
Mhm.
you wanna go 5?
yeah,
Well, I mean, if you go with the same person, that'll be, they had it last year, right?
Yeah,
Or the
yeah,
last
last
3
three.
years.
the last 3 years,
That'll be 6, that'll be close to the same amount as what you're suggesting going up to,
sure,
so.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that, we could just pick somebody and we could be done with this and then keep moving on instead of,
belaboring the point.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, I'd make a motion if we just leave Joe sheets on it and let him keep doing it.
Mhm.
He's already plowed it the last 3 years.
Just let them know that after the 3-year lease, we'll go to 5 or 8.
Yeah, I think next time we go 5 or 8, that'll give. I think some of the bigger farmers might be a little more interested in it that way.
I don't mind a 5-year.
I'll second that.
All in favor for Daryl Sheets? Doing, well, actually, we should do a roll call.
We'll do a roll call, yes. Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes, Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee, oh,
Yes.
and Trustee Stroud.
Yes,
Yeah, I think we're gonna go from 6,800 a year to $9,000,
Wow,
so it does go up.
yeah,
The cost of it's
I
crazy.
know.
All right, on to the sexton.
So we received 2 applications for the sexton position. So one from Dawn Poley. She is the current sexton for London Township. So she kind of just gave her information. You can reach out to Penny or Larry Krebs, who is, what is Larry? He's our,
Well, technically, he's the sexton.
Right. yeah, okay.
But they don't do the paperwork anymore. They just basically dig,
Ah, yes, okay.
open and close, would be the
Okay.
proper terminology.
Okay. And then the next one is from Andrew Noland, and he sent over a resume. He's part of the fire department. He's actually the, one person that worked with Ann Sweet, getting the,
Yeah,
sign for the cemeteries. He's very, passionate about cemeteries and all of that. He's come out here, I haven't seen him in a minute, but,
he's been in training.
he was here a lot with Ann when she was getting this sign out here, so.
Any questions, Nick?
no, is this the guy who's came in here and pushed for the sign?
Yes.
Is that who this is?
Yeah.
Okay, he was pretty knowledgeable
He was, yes,
in cemeteries.
yes.
Yeah, I think he works for, Downriver Stone.
Yeah, he does.
Mhm,
But he was passionate about it.
he was.
I mean, so I like going with him because it's not just a job to him. It seemed like it was very important.
Yeah.
To him,
He's on our cemetery commission too.
yeah.
Now, with him being owner operator of Silent Cities, would it be a bid that would be going in, and would he be doing it as that, or is he being paid a flat?
He'd be paid as our sexton
Okay.
position, yeah, I think we said $20 an hour.
Okay.
Actually, that's gonna go away.
What
Owner of
is?
Silent Cities,
Yeah,
they're dissolving
oh, okay. Well, then it doesn't matter.
it.
That's a good question, though. I didn't even think of that.
So this is $20 an hour too.
Yeah,
Joel?
Yeah, I'm with Andrew just because he did come in. Been here many times. Also likes to go out and clean up the headstones and this and that, so.
yeah, and he actually, gosh, when we first started wanting to clean up the cemeteries and get everything organized, didn't he ask the volunteer to go out and
Yes,
do all of that?
what you did.
So he
fix
was
the lot.
already trying to insert himself into helping before we even thought about.
He did something with the veteran stuff too.
Yes, yeah,
He was actually involved with the sign.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's going up. I told them don't put the post it because afraid somebody will run into it in the middle of winter times.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Oh, we need a motion to motion somebody up.
I think I make a motion to have hire Andrew Nolan for section.
I'll second that.
All in?
Yeah. Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Tolt,
Yes.
Trustee Strong.
Yes.
All right, moving on to new business.
It's already that time to set our dates for next year. I did want to put out there that in talking with our lawyer on different things with, working with the planning commission, all of that, he did recommend that we should have our meetings before the planning commission. So it's very clear cut that we meet, then the planning commission meets. If the planning commission has any type of recommendation for us, we have time so that there's no misunderstanding that planning commission met, they recommended something to the board, and then we're gonna talk about it 2 days later. So I understand flipping a complete day is hard because we all have lives, but I did just want to put that out there. Unless we are just very straightforward with people that it's not happening, and I know we have in the past, but there has been misunderstandings in the past where
Right.
things were thought to be on our agenda and they're not, and then people get upset and
Well, instead of flipping days, couldn't you just have the planning commission meet the Tuesday after our board meeting?
could, but then they'd have to, if it's I don't know, if the third Tuesday.
Right.
It's them moving
Yeah,
a day. So
it's a week instead of a day of the week.
So I didn't know if we wanted to set something tentative for our Thursdays and then put maybe a plan in place if the planning commission's able to move to the third Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because I obviously don't want to make any decisions for them, so.
Right, that's a good idea to move them behind us, and then we're gonna have to move the November 13th meeting.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, to the 6th.
Because I do like that's a good idea to have a whole lot more time.
Yeah,
You're gonna get another 3 weeks to mess with it instead of, 2 days.
yeah,
Mhm.
And right, because people thinking, oh, I'm gonna get this done, it's here and then I'm done.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't mind it the way it is, because it gives us a whole, I know it moves things out a ways, but it gives a lot of time for us to look into it. Like tonight, they could say, hey, I'm giving you guys this, your stuff to do.
Right.
Then we get copies of it, we research it, and it gives us a month to look at it. A
right,
month and 2 days.
right. But that's if that communication's very set in place to the people that are expecting from the PC on Tuesday, that it's not coming to us on Thursday
We need to
to
clarify that.
approve.
So we
That
can,
communication has not gone well in the past.
Right.
And it all depends on who's responsible for making that communication to the applicants. Because even, the planning commission, I know in the past has made it very clear in their meeting that it's not coming to the board for vote on Thursday. And then it's still being asked if it's coming to us on Thursday to vote on. So even though the communication's there, just because we have that meeting on Thursday, it's an assumption that we're gonna be voting on it.
That just takes that whole scenario right out of it.
Correct. Yeah, Jenna.
This is just a suggestion. I don't know if, like, for PC, if they have like applications to for people to be on the agenda for their meetings or whatnot. Or we could have applications for people to be on our meetings. But I know at York Township, to be on, like, to have a ZBA meeting, you have to file your stuff a whole month before to be on the next month's meeting. So it's a whole month that they have to wait to be in a meeting, so.
And I like that idea. I even have tried to push, you have to have your stuff to us 2 weeks before. The problem is that, we're not full-time enough to
Right.
keep that consistent, and people go to different people to say, well, here's something, and then not everybody's getting the documentation, and then we're getting something, and it gets very cumbersome because this isn't our full-time job. I do want to get some type of consistency like that, but like you said, Joel, it takes that whole equation,
Right.
that whole circumstance right out the window. Go ahead, Amanda.
Speaking of what you're saying, that's something that should be spelled out in the ordinance, and that's something that Dave Kibisky has already mentioned to Pat and other members, even myself, that it should be 30 days ahead of time, that you should receive all materials 30 days before the planning commission meeting.
Right.
That way there's plenty of time for the commissioners and everybody to look at. But that's actually not what I wanted to say. The planning commission should look at their bylaws again, because in their bylaws that were approved in 2003, for their meetings, it says the regular meetings of the commission shall be held on the first and third Thursday of each calendar month, excluding legal holidays. So I don't know when they switched to Tuesdays, but
They
they're not
never
even
did.
following their own bylaws. I just realized
So we need
this.
to change the bylaws on that.
So they need to relook at the bylaws. But I would say after the board, comes to a decision, but they need to relook at their bylaws as well.
Yeah.
Because right now it doesn't go with it.
Well, it's funny, because I talked to member of the Dundee Township Planning Commission, and they ain't met in 3 months. Like, how have you not met in 3 months? We've got more stuff going on than,
No.
I say we keep it the same. But they gotta, like, let's say tonight they wanna bring a nuclear plant in down the road. And they come to your meeting Tuesday night, they say, we wanna do this. Grab it, it goes to the clerk first anyway. We will review it, give a month to look at it. Then you can make your determination what you're gonna do, and then we get it, and we get a month to look at it. I know it drags things out, but I think it keeps the township safe. We don't make rash decisions and.
But I'm saying that communication is already happening with applicants, and there's an assumption
Well,
that,
we're gonna get rid of the assumption.
okay. So, and we just all need to be very clear on our
Yes.
communication has to be very standard, that we all have to be on the same page too.
When I dealt with a large city north of us, you had to get approval to get on the agenda by a person that handled the agenda for the mayor, for the council, for whatever. And you had, the week before the meeting, I think it was a Thursday, but it was a week before the meeting, you had to be on the agenda if you wanted to come discuss anything at the meeting. And it wasn't, you had to call and get on the agenda from whoever handled the agenda.
Did you have any situations in which they were on the agenda, a week, 2 weeks ahead, and then 3 days before the meeting's being held, you're getting additional information?
This was the city of Detroit. And
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
it was,
yeah, I'm
it
just
was
saying
very
that-
large.
Right,
So you had to get on the agenda, and you got on the agenda, and whatever you had turned in, that's it.
that's it.
That's
There's
it.
no
They'll say
giving
you gotta have
additional
all
information.
documents in on that Thursday. You can't say I wanna be on the agenda, but I'll get you something next Tuesday.
I mean, that is one thing that Jen and I have talked about that we want to be more consistent on, is getting an agenda out a week before the meeting, just because we have received feedback
But if
from.
it keeps changing, you can't get it out.
Correct. So if I'm gonna be the point person to say, you have to get in contact with me, and then I'm the one that says, sorry, we have a meeting in 3 days, you're going next month. I have no problem saying that, but then.
And that was published.
Right.
So you knew
Yeah,
I
and
had
then,
to get here.
but then they just can't go to other members and say, oh, this will be really quick, you know what I'm saying, like, it's gotta be a very standard.
Yeah, but you gotta be, you know, you gotta be strict. This is it. You gotta have it in by this Thursday. You don't have it in, you don't have it in. It's that, you know,
And no additional
because it
documents.
doesn't do any of us any good for somebody to come in and they hand you a package this thick with prints in it and say, I wanna go through this today.
Right,
Yeah, not happening.
You didn't even look at it.
Right.
You know, you don't know what you're looking at, so.
So I said the procedure is they got to contact her.
well, and we need to talk to the PC to say who is your guys.
And you can come up with a plan.
Yeah.
To say this.
Because it all starts with the PC, right? It starts with them, you know, you guys
Yeah.
going through everything, and then
Well, and-
that's where that assumption comes from, is that
So to
you
be on the
guys.
PC meeting, you gotta have blah, blah, to be on the board meeting, you gotta have whatever.
You know, I'm totally fine being the point person for the board meeting agenda.
The smallness of the township leads people to say, talk to
Correct.
Billy.
Correct.
No, but when you're in the city of Detroit, you
Yes.
don't talk to Billy.
Right, right.
You're
So do you
gonna
wanna
what they
table the
tell you.
dates until you're able to talk with the planning commission on
Yeah.
how you wanna handle that?
Well, we should probably, cause.
I mean, you can approve the January
Right,
dates. and then
because from what I
just-
understood from last year, because we always do this way too late, I feel like we said last year this time, we were gonna do this in like October or November.
I think these
Um,
dates are fine.
I think so too.
Right.
We just gotta have a procedure to.
Correct,
Right.
except we want to change the November 13th to November 6th.
Right.
Correct,
I make a motion to accept the dates for Township Board and Planning Commission. Except for November 6th, change the 13th to the 6th.
Also, November PC is on Veterans Day, she just pointed that out, so.
What's that?
The PC meeting's on Veterans Day in November. So,
Oh,
which they are gonna have, no, okay,
Okay.
Then I'll second it.
Okay.
Second it?
sorry, who motioned?
Me. Shall be seconded,
Okay, to accept, changing November,
13th to the 6th. So,
all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to the poverty exemption. We do this every year. We are doing it for the federal poverty guidelines. We're following the federal guidelines. That's all that is.
So pretty much we have no,
We have no say.
we have no
could
say so.
do some, but we don't have anybody that has poverty in our township, so
Sure.
we're gonna do the federal guidelines and move it on. We haven't had one in years. So that's a good thing.
I'm not bringing in any money.
I'm in poverty.
I'm retired. I got 4 years. Man.
Any questions on this? I mean, like Mark said, there's not really much.
It's something that Karen always comes up with us every year. It's pretty standard or whatever, so.
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept federal guidelines for poverty exemptions.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Board review. Every 2 years, we have to approve the board of review members. We had Richard Zorno, Sam Mills, and Blaine Linderman, and Dave Conger as an alternate. Richard Zorno is done with it. Sam Mills says he's definitely done. He's been on a long time. I got 2 new people, which we already kind of talked about. One's Mark Davis. He's a certified surveyor in the township. And then Eric King, he's a resident of the township, been around the block a few times. We're gonna make Eric Ing the alternative. So Blaine, Dave, and Mark will be the primary board review people. Any questions on that?
What is their expiration date? Is it 2 years?
2 years.
So 26.
So it'll be December 31st, 26. And yes, we all have to do training next month. And and I think it's free. If we all come here, we can do it here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, it's $100 a person.
No, no. I'm sorry, did you motion that?
Yeah, I motion it, yes.
Okay. I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Other appointments, I got some people coming up that are due, but I want to wait. I want to talk to some people, see if we get some younger individuals on the board. Oh, actually, I got and Cheryl Majors needs to be, she's gonna stay on the planning commission, so
And that's a 2-year or is that 3-year?
that is a 3-year.
So 27. I make a motion to, well, no, you have to do that because you're the
No.
one. I can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, to extend Cheryl Majors, on the planning commission to December 31st of 2027 and table the other ZBA.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're up to number 5. Karen, we had a resolution to hire a assistant assessor that she's gonna train, because in 4 or 5 years, she's retiring. Well, he got tied up and busy and can't help her. And we wish we haven't been paying him anyway.
Yeah.
She wants to hire just an independent, go out and help her. It's about $600. That's $20 a property. So they wrote up a resolution to do this. I'll let you take it from there.
The big thing why, Karen and I both, think this is necessary is, just the sheer fact of, she's going on people's properties. And not everybody knows who Karen is, and in the climate of this world, not saying any of our residents are, malicious by any means, but I know I have, went up to people on my property and questioned them, and you just don't know the other person on the other side, right? So I would feel more comfortable having somebody with her, just as a safety feature. It will help her get this done quicker. And
She wanted to work with a new person too, or is that?
well, so the assistant, that we already approved, he got tied up, and so that's why this resolution comes forward, so she can just get somebody else to help her.
Okay.
So it'd be $20 a parcel. She's thinking it's gonna be about $600, just to get these building permit assessments done. She just does not feel comfortable going out by herself,
And I don't
and I
blame her.
agree. So I make a motion to accept the resolution to allow the additional assessment administrator, at $20 a parcel.
I'll second that.
We'll do a roll call.
Yep.
Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Tolt,
Yes.
and Trustee Strong.
Yes,
Board member comments. Since we're still in it, on that same comment. Our neighbors are getting real good about taking photos of people's license plates pulling on the side of the road. I know Dawn just did it the other day. Our neighbor called, it was the same lady at the neighbor's house, beating on the door trying to get in, ended up being some masseuse or something for one of the other neighbors, so, but that was kind of good that everybody's paying attention to what's going on in the neighborhood. I think our break-ins are going less because people are keeping an eye out. And the same thing with Karen, I think we're gonna get her one of those little tiny bubbles for the top of her car, the yellow one. My kid got one for me when we were hauling dirt to
Oh.
job sites. It's tiny, you don't see it, but it's bright. Maybe to bring attention to people that
And she does have the magnets on
She
her
does.
car.
I'm gonna get her one, they're like $20. Other than that, I got some information from Monroe County Road Commission next year. I wanted to print it all off, but our computers won't seem to
Our
allow me
emails
to.
are not working
Yeah.
today at all.
One is, I don't have any figures because I can't open it up. I did have a meeting with Monroe County Road Commission this year. I think in October, September. Instead of just doing one pass down the middle of the road for chloride, we're gonna do brine on each side and then one strip of chloride down the middle. According to Monroe County Road Commission and the engineer, it keeps the road more solid and less dust. Because just doing a strip down the middle, this much on either side still stays dusty.
Didn't we do the Brian last year?
No,
Oh, we did?
we had talked about it, we didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
We'd actually talked about double chloriding, but they said this will last just like you almost double chloriding.
And it's cheaper, right?
Cheaper than doing double
Double
chloride, yeah.
chloride, okay.
What did they just do on Welch Road after they put the stone on?
That was just chloride. They double pass chloride.
Yeah, that definitely has to be done, because that was night and day. After
Really?
they put that on there, yeah, it keeps the stone on the road.
Yeah, it locks
Not
it.
just the dust
Yeah.
part, the stone doesn't go push
Right.
out when you drive on it or walk on it.
No, I
It really
agree.
made a big difference, because they put a good layer of stone out there.
Mhm. Yeah, it was
I
bumpy
mean,
there
it
for a
was
while.
well, yeah. Well, 4 inches of stone.
We got, I can't remember who came in, lived on Southwick Road, I think, didn't he? Paid your taxes this week.
For,
He brought up the roads when we're gonna do them.
oh,
I told him, I said, well, you're on for next year.
but what they did there with the chloride really bound it together.
Yeah,
It
well,
That
made-
was that double chloride.
They
Yeah,
double
it really
chloride.
made a difference.
So
I
when we
was
get,
surprised.
like, when we get a bid for doing Welch Road, it was 100 grand, 111 grand.
111 grand.
That includes double chloriding and everything, and berm removal, it includes everything, so it's not a bad deal.
Their berm removal's pretty suspect.
Yeah,
They didn't, I just got a picture of, they don't do a whole lot.
you know what's funny? So if you go down Mead Road, that's where they did ditch cleaning, berm removal, stone.
Yeah.
No, they did a nice job down there. There's also something come up, they want us to pick a few ditches out that we have to pay for to get clean. But they're gonna do a lot of it for free still. Everything's in this nice email that I can't print off, so. That'll be brought up next month. We don't have to vote on that till next month anyway, because we're gonna have to put a plan together for our roads and our budget, so. Other than that, want to welcome Shelby to the board.
Yes, welcome, Joe.
Shelby.
Thanks, guys. You know.
I got nothing else. Clerk,
My mind's blank. I have nothing. I am in preparation of getting the sexton position filled. I've tried to combine a lot of our documentation in our old cemetery books, because there's duplicates of a lot of things, and there seems to be a lot of people that have the same plot, you know, that they bought, and so I'm trying to just get everything into an Excel spreadsheet for him, or for whoever, well, now Andrew, but to have an easy transition.
man, is the air conditioner on?
Yeah, it's cold. I'm freezing. To try to just kind of give it, it's so hard looking at all of those books, because there's, you know, 100 of them, and they're all the same information,
Right.
but just snippets of everything, so I'm,
I think the problem with a lot of it is too, is this clerk or this person comes in and does it their way, and then the next one comes and does it their way, and
because there's different books, and I mean, gosh, the cemeteries are, you know, 100 and some years old, so, you know, they've been tracking this forever, but Andrew will have a huge job ahead of him in organizing all of that, so.
I mean, we were kind of, just to get the books in
Yeah.
one place, because they were down the basement.
Yeah.
Someone's office over there, in the back room here, and another vault room, and
Because somebody went through and they tried to piece it out in like a Word document of, you know, plot 100, this person. And I'm just working on Azalea right now. But then you look at the map and somebody else's name is in 100. I'm like, well, whose is it? Whose body is there if there's a body? Like, I have no idea.
go and ask.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go knock on some tombs. So,
That's why they have stones.
yeah. So that will be probably a summer job for him too, to start doing that as well. So, now that the election has obviously come and gone, Jen and I are gonna sit down, especially with Amanda, transitioning into her new clerk role in London. We want to make sure that we have all of her knowledge and expertise so we can cover her as she's navigating her.
And
Life
I
over
can
there.
show you what I was doing
Yeah.
with trying to figure out and combine
everything.
all of the maps.
Yeah,
So we know what names, you know, are all in this.
Yeah.
In this little
Yeah.
spot here.
yeah.
There's
So,
apparently 5 people.
yeah, and man, people back in the day, they were very conscientious of where they were gonna get buried because it's the same group of names that own 2 to 5 plots, graves, whatever it is. I'm like,
A lot consists of 4 normally.
sure,
A plot
but
is
then
one.
some of them have 6 and some of them have 5, and then there's
Well,
a
it was changed over the
232A
years.
and, 27B, and I'm like, man, we just chopped this whole place up, so.
That's why the new one's way easier, because it's northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast. When you pick a grave over there.
Okay.
Way easier than this.
Feel like that could have been a
Maybe.
way easier way to do
Yeah,
all
it
of that,
could
but
have.
I digress. So, yeah, so I'll be working with Andrew on that one when we get him on board, and then Jen and I are working on just website and processes and cleaning things up.
All set?
All set?
Mr. Joel.
I don't have too much. Everybody got their taxes. Don't everybody clap. It'll be all right.
I'll clap. I don't live in the township.
I know everything is going well. Everything went out good and just keep moving forward.
Like the letter that's put in there, or the text, that trash days are put in there now.
Trash days.
I think that's gonna make a big difference.
The last time we put them on the bottom and then you ripped it off and you sent me back the trash days. We slid her up there.
Got it.
That's all I got.
Trustee Straub.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an update on what the planning commission did Tuesday with the Corrigan oil application to change the zoning to C, from C2 to I1. And they have been going back and forth with us with documents for quite some time now. So we decided to vote on it, and we voted no, no change, but with the stipulation of telling the board the items that we had an issue with. And I went through it today. Stacy brought a package here the next morning, and the items that we had issue with at the meeting, they've changed most of them, but what I can do is go over the items that they did not change and the ones they did change. They had a couple clerical errors with the acreage. The application said 14.17 acres, and their documents and the plot certified land survey said a different number. They have changed it to match the number, so that has been taken care of. Then there was an issue with item 12 in the binding, and I'll put this in a written form for you, but basically that says the agreement is binding on all parties and their successors. So in other words, when this is, if something happens to Corrigan or they sell it, it goes to the new person and everything reverts to them. But we were under the guys from Dave, the engineer, that wasn't true. So we need to get an actual question answered here on what is correct. So if it's according to the attorney said that's the way it goes. I read his stuff today. So the attorney was okay with this, but we'll have to talk to Dave on this one to find out. Maybe we misunderstood him. So that was an item. And then the only other items were in the conditions, and they have changed. One they didn't change here was the property shall comply with applicable township ordinances regarding sound, lighting, and dust. And I didn't like that. I wanted it to be all township ordinances, including sound, lighting, dust, and will add odor. But not just those three,
Sure.
all including those. So that needs to be taken care of. We weren't real happy with the 6 AM start. But again, we would rather have it 7 AM. The next item is, it states, whereas the intended use of the property shall include a cartage business, A, and a propane business, B, and C, operations related or inherent to those two uses. So that opens up the cartage business issue to everything cartage, not just plastic, bottles, cardboard, which they spell out on the next one. So I would like this, and we at the planning commission would like it to be a cartage business as spelled out below. If that makes sense, and I'll show, I will go through these. And then the last item was the Saturday and Sunday. They say cartage activities on the property shall be limited to no more than 30 round trips of tractors with or without trailers per day, with a reduced traffic volume on Saturdays and Sundays.
What's reduced?
Right, what is reduced? It
That's what I
means-
was thinking.
It means,
What's that?
Yeah.
yeah, it means nothing, so
Yeah.
what, this didn't come up in the planning committee, but when I read through their things today that she turned in, I kind of think it should be, leave Saturdays and Sundays, and it should be spelled out in an emergency case only.
Yeah.
And then they could call and say, hey, you got 3 trucks coming in today, to let you know. That's kind of standard, because we had that issue in the landfill where I worked. You know, we were open whenever we needed to be.
Right.
But after the hours of 6 in the morning to, 9 o'clock at night, if we had issues, we had to call and say, hey, we got an emergency job in Detroit, and we're gonna be running in here all night. So that wasn't, to me, it wasn't out of place to, if we put Saturday, Sunday on emergency basis only, and then that would give them Saturday and Sunday,
But limit them
but
still.
limit, at least we'll have some limit, where they would, if they call and say, hey, I got 55 loads coming in, then, Bogey can say, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case.
Did they specify specific hours on Saturday and Sunday, or would it still be the hours that they indicated, Monday through Friday?
That's what they're saying,
Oh,
still the hours.
so it's gonna be.
They didn't reduce anything.
7-day.
All they said was
operation.
reduce Saturday. They didn't say what.
Yeah,
the
it didn't say
reduction.
reduce by half
Correct.
or,
So these items I will give
and it's
to you.
interesting, they say no more than 30, who's going to be monitoring that?
Matt.
We're gonna put a camera up right across from there.
It just seems, it just seems unlikely that, I mean, 30 doesn't seem like a lot, but
No, it don't.
you're open from, what they say, 6 to,
6 AM to 8 PM.
and you're only gonna have 30 trucks running through?
Does anybody live on Ann Arbor Road close to that? I know Tim does. Do you know how much they come in and out of there?
Well, no, because he's way
You're
north.
working.
I'm north of.
You're
He's way
working
north.
too. You're-
I'm north.
Yeah.
You'd have to
Is
have somebody who
anybody
lives
south?
south.
Is that,
You know,
I
we
mean,
got
that's-
somebody, we can make a phone call.
It's the trucks that are like the half trucks, right?
Yeah,
Like the
spotters.
little
They're
switchers.
switchers,
Which
yeah.
they look like half trucks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because when I go get water, I mean, I'll pass a few of them and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been doing business with Clean Tech down there. This will be the 9th year. Providing them with drivers and trucks. And
Who are you?
I'm Fred Kingston. I'm the owner of the property that they're parked on.
Oh, the one that
They're
you're on now?
currently on now.
Okay,
In fact, my guys just stopped working at 7:00 tonight. So, anyway, my question is, can I, I've had Day and Ross and McLean Trucking asking me to lease the property. Since Clean Tech is entertaining this idea of moving the trailers down there, can I just, I'm thinking of having them vacate the property now. Can they take the trailers down there now? Because I need them to take them somewhere, get them out of there. They're gonna have to-
No, because we haven't come to any decision on if we're gonna
So they
allow
can't park any
cartage.
trailers down there
Nope.
right now?
no,
Okay, if they don't give me a 3-year, I've always done 9 years now, handshakes, well, January will be 9 years. I took over this in October of 16. And if they don't, we've always did a handshake, we never had anything right for all these years. Now that they're doing this, I've got a little bit nervous over it, so I'm thinking if they don't give me a 3-year contract, handle the status quo as we see it, as we're doing work for them now, then I'm gonna have to vacate the property. I was thinking maybe they could move down there early.
we don't even know if that's, it's not specified, it's Clean Tech. in there. That's an assumption by people, we don't know for sure.
Originally, they did
But-
say out.
But it does say plastic and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what there's nothing else in those trailers.
sure.
There's pallets and some of them that they use at the plant. I'm approximately 3.4 miles from the plant right now. So they want to know if I would be able to go further down the road, the 2.5 miles each way past my, it's 5 miles, so I'm trip past my place. No, I'm not taking those, you have to do this business with, you guys know the difference between a switcher truck.
Yes,
Yeah, okay, and those lift trailers up off the ground. They lift 80,000 pounds. Saying that, the trailers, there's 140 of them, and they're going to need a place to put them. And I can't take if they wanted me to continue business and bringing them down to here, I won't do it. These trucks will not do over 45 miles per hour. I'm not going to even impede traffic or cause somebody to pass and have a head-on collision. I don't want part of that. It's not worth it to me.
do you run the truck
Yes,
and you own the property that parked on?
yes. Just been providing the service of.
So you go down and pick them up from
Clean Tech.
Clean Tech and bring them to your
Well, they
yard?
bring them into the lot from all over the country.
Okay, so they bring them there, and what do you do with the switcher?
The switchers, my guys, I have 5 employees, and we work 7 days a week. We close only on Christmas. That's the only day they close. And sometimes on Thanksgiving, but they didn't this year. But we just take them 3.4 miles each way.
You take the trailer from
From the
there
lot. We
into
got people
Dundee?
from all over the country.
Yeah.
And in Mexico.
No,
most of
I
Michigan,
don't
most
mean
of
that.
Michigan.
You guys run the truck or the trailers to Dundee and back?
Yes, to the plant.
Okay.
Okay, they bring them in and then you shuttle them back and forth?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, I didn't know that's, okay.
yeah, I didn't realize they were going
I didn't
there.
know.
I since then bought the property next door because the neighbor was complaining about bugs. There that was a problem, so I was able to purchase the property next door to eliminate that.
Gnats,
Oh, the net.
the gnat
yeah.
problem.
Oh, it's a bad problem, so I don't mind them bringing it down here.
Okay, so in any event, I'll give you guys, the board, this information.
We can research it and go from there.
Yep,
Thank you.
that's all I have.
Well, trustee Olga, but she's not here.
Yeah, we did a really good job of changing everything except for that to Shelby's.
Well, that was in case she was here. We wanted her.
I no longer exist, so no
Right,
comments.
yeah, no comment.
All right, our new trustee.
Oh,
What do you got?
Trash day was added to the bills. That's it.
Oh, my
okay.
Yeah, just like old.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Light colored here.
Good to go.
You'll have more time, goes on. Staff.
I don't have much. But it's a little less chaotic with elections being over. Agreed. So I'm very thankful that you guys did that for me, so thank you for that. Other than that, yeah, we'll just plug away at paperwork.
We got a lot of cleaning to do.
That's it.
Only thing I have is I was talking with Erin. She was having issues with getting on Zoom. We've been having issues with Zoom tonight. But she wanted to let me know that she just found out that the class for the board of review for the state, it is not free.
Okay.
No,
It's
it's not free.
$30
Oh,
per board of review member.
perfect.
So, it's still way cheaper than MTA, which is $100 per person. So this being January 9th, this is going to be before your next board meeting, correct?
It's within our,
It's within the budget?
Yeah.
yeah, and it's within like our amount of money that we can spend.
For like conferences.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Just-
no, I
Double
appreciate
checking.
that. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think that's something that we don't have any choice.
No.
I mean, they have to have their training, so, and I think there's gonna be 4 of them that go to training.
There's good, well, it would be 5 now, because I gotta go too.
Oh, okay, so I think, that can go on the credit card and not be a
Smiling over
huge
there, Joel.
issue, but we'll bring that up at the next meeting, though, to say that's,
Well, I
did
mean,
that.
if it's already, and it's already agreed to within,
Yeah.
your guidelines, it's all good. It'll
Yeah.
just be part of the disbursement stuff next
Yeah.
month, that's all.
yeah.
So,
That it?
yeah, that was all.
Awesome. Congratulations on the clipboard.
Yes.
Your hair's already turning gray.
No, it's not. Actually, I've been looking and I cannot find one, but I did find one in my daughter. I was like, sweet, I gave you a gray hair before you could give me one.
All right.
Public comment.
On to public comment for 5 minutes.
One, my phone number, you guys have any questions?
Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
You're welcome. It's Fred Pinkston, Pingston. This doesn't need trailer storage.
Okay.
313-418-0600.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Just with the Corrigan part, and I know you ain't had time to look at it. One of the things that me going to the planning commission board meetings, all of them, since it's been happening. One of the things that I've seen that is a big fear factor for me is there's not a fence barrier to where any driver bringing trailers in, coming from wherever they're coming from, will be able to go over to the propane truck, possibly, probably not start it, but could mess with it. They will have access to all the empty tanks in that. I think there needs to be a physical barrier of a fence or something in there.
Okay.
Obviously the hours needs to be discussed more. Lighting needs to be discussed.
Those 16-foot walls that they do on the freeway, that'd be nice.
What's, yeah, it makes no
They
sense.
never brought up anything about the propane, like sectioning the propane area off from that. That's never been brought up at all.
No.
The propane filling station is in its own fenced area with a
right.
gate.
Yeah,
The other tanks are empty propane tanks that they either taken in or getting ready to go out.
okay.
I know someone made it. It wasn't you, man, but someone else made a comment about if a trailer came in here and hit a propane truck or hit a tank and it toppled over, they could explode. I'm like, nah. Good luck. Them tanks and them propane tanks right now, I think they're 3/4 of an inch thick plate steel. We used to wall on them all the time, full of propane.
I feel like that's the,
We're not gonna have a problem with that. And I don't know, the welders we had, there's no way you could penetrate that steel.
The other thing was, is there like gotten any farther on Ann Arbor and Conroe? The stoplight or stop?
The flashing light,
Yeah,
I got a bid back on it. So we're kind of sitting tight because we just had an issue with our one down here. It's got a light bulb burned out and it's $750
we have to buy a pack.
that they'll keep for us. And, you know, they'll be able to find them when the next one burns out.
No, we will be putting those in our,
just flashing stoplight.
Yeah, because I've been driving, even that, I don't drive all over like I used to, except around the township, but yeah, last couple times I went by Ann Arbor Road, people blow that stop
Oh,
sign
yeah.
like no big deal,
They do.
Yeah.
and then give you a dirty look.
they'll just roll that right onto the highway.
And look right at you.
Oh, yeah.
That's the part I love.
Just go with the rumble strips instead, it'd be easier.
What's that?
The rumble strips.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Nope.
Good turnout.
I make a motion to, yeah, it's a great turnout tonight. I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:26.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn.
Good job, Olga.
Thank you. Good job.
Put in there.
Too late.
All right, I'm starving.
Not me.